Welcome to episode 1 of ZenMadman versus Machine No Limit Holdem. I'm going to play 6 max here against GTOBase. Link in the description below. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Help the channel out. Thank you. Let's get into the poker. I'm going to play, say, 50 hands. And we're just going to try and play, GTO poker. And we're going to see over here in the lower left-hand corner, what's the average EV loss over 50 hands. And Jack 6 suited, am I defending this against the cutoff? I actually think maybe I'm not. I think this is actually a fold against, yeah, it's borderline, right? It's borderline because they're opening 2.5x. If it was 2.25x, then I think we do want to defend that. All right, ace 3 offsuit. I will defend this against a small blind open raise, but I don't even have to make any tough decisions yet. So far, really easy going. King jack off, jacking off in the small blind. There is a raise. I can probably mix 3-bet and fold here. We'll throw the fold in. Yeah, it says 3-bet 9.8%. So, the number one sort of stat goal here is average EV loss. We'd like that to be 0. That would be fantastic. But on top of that, I also want to be able to say, yeah, I think this hand mixes, and then I pick one or the other, and I'm correct that it mixes. That's the sort of moral victory. Hello, Buffy Bot. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're streaming this live on Twitch, which I stream on Twitch every morning in June anyway at, what time is it? It's 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. All right, 10-5 suited. This is going to be a fold against a hijack open raise. So, as you can see, the majority of decisions in No Limit Holdem 6 max are like easy decisions, right? There's a lot of folding, That's why I play 4 tables when I play online. And that's one of the reasons people play as many hands as they do when they play live, because it's just hard to sit there and be super disciplined. There's other good reasons for playing more hands than you might play in an online setting. Basically, you expect your opponents to make larger post-flop mistakes. All right, and perhaps I'll comment a little bit on what the other players at the table are doing. We shall see. This hand, I think, oh no, it's a hijack open raise. You always got to make sure you catch the action. I have certainly done that when I go back to playing live after not playing live much for a while. That's like, I think I'm putting in a raise and somebody's already raised and I'm just cold calling and I'm like, yeesh. Not good. You gotta focus. 6-8 suited, we're certainly going to play. I imagine we can mix call and 3-bet here. I am going to call because that's the spot that we've been studying, right? Big blind defense as a call. On this board, I imagine we actually have a good amount of donks because we have 5-7 in our range. They do as well, but I do think we're going to have donks here. So let's try it. Let's see what happens. Ooh, tiny amount of donking. That's right. Against the button, there's very little donking. There's much more donking in the other positions. Now here, can we keep betting for value? I'm going to say yes, because I don't think 5x or 10-9 are that large a portion of their range. On a straightening card, I think we can't go super big. It's either going to be like pot or 3/4 pot, I think. Maybe even smaller. I'm going to do the 3/4. Let's see how the solver likes it. It don't like it. It don't like it much at all. However, you'll see it is only 1/20th of a big blind in EV loss. And what were they supposed to do? We don't get to see what they were supposed to do. That's okay, because it doesn't like our play. It wants the smaller bet size. That makes sense. Let's look at the range, and overall the range is also using the smaller bet size. Now, I am not particularly experienced at using this donking strategy. As you'll see, they really only want to donk like 7% of range and 7% with this hand. So it's a reasonable candidate, and it's a board that there's some donking, but you could probably you can definitely just pure check, and that's going to be fine. But I'm trying to try some new things, right? Trying to identify spots where the solver does want that donking range. And I'd say if it was against the low jack or against the hijack, we certainly would have had more of a donking range, and that hand would have been an excellent candidate. Although it probably makes a really good check raise as well, right? Against all those overpairs that are going to see bet. All right, clear open raise on the button. We're open raising this in any position, really. Queen 10 suited, and we just take it down. So far my average EV loss is negative 0.00. And if we can maintain that, I don't care whether my 0 is negative or positive. It's negative because it's rounding up to 0, not down to 0. All right. Next hand. 49ers. This is a Bay Area classic. However, I'm in Vegas, so I'm going to find the fold. I recently moved from the Bay Area-ish, like North Bay area. Recently, it's been like 8 months. Wow. Time just passes. So we're going to 3-bet this against pretty much any open raise. Literally any open raise. I wonder if there is any mixing against the low jack, but we'll throw that in, right? Do a raise. And this is the first 3-bet pot we've played, right? This solver does not do any cold calling in the small blind. I do think jacks are a hand you can occasionally cold call in the small blind. Not saying I recommend it, but like that is, I believe, solver approved. If you give the solver that option, and it will want to do that at some frequency, probably largely to protect the cold calling range. And then if you get squeezed, then that's a great hand to be able to kind of like back jam. All right, Jack 7 suited is trash against an open, but I would have opened it from the button for sure. All right, here we get some more jacks. And against an open from any of these positions, I'm certainly going to 3-bet. I think you can flat this a little against a low jack. Okay, so against a raise and a 3-bet, you know, our only option is 4-bet or fold. That's the only choice they give us. There's no flatting range allowed in this solver. I think this is largely going to be a 4-bet. I wouldn't be shocked. With these positions, it's probably pure or close to pure. Yeah, pure. And what's the EV? Let's check out the EV. With earlier positions, I think you can actually occasionally find a fold with jacks. EV is monstrous, right? 8.69. So I was definitely thinking too long about that. What's the lowest pocket pair? Is that the lowest pocket pair that's a pure cold 4, or pocket 10s? Pocket 9s, do we mix? That's the sort of question we will answer next week when we dig into folding this hand. When we dig into 3-bet pots, right? We've done 4, we've got another 4 spots for single raise pots. Today we're gonna do low jack against button cold call on the Twitch stream. This is the YouTube video. If you want, you can always come check out ZenMadman on Twitch. Studying every morning. By we, it's like mostly me, but eventually it will be more of a we, you know, get some people joining, and questions and comments and suggestions are always welcome. I enjoy studying poker on my own, but I enjoy it even more, you know, in a group setting or just like talking to an individual. We'll do some sort of collaborative streams like that in the not too distant future. Right now, we're just kind of trying to establish kind of a baseline of like, all right, I'm just going to do this every day. Maybe I will do 2 hours every day. I don't know. That was the plan. Felt like a lot, but we'll see how it goes. All right, so far, not a lot of interesting hands, have there been? That 8-6 suited was that the only flop we saw? So the idea of this was like, it should make a more interesting video, but maybe it doesn't make that interesting. I don't know. You let me know. Basically, this is like I'm playing poker, right? We're playing it against a solver. Now we've got a flop. Okay, this isn't a spot I've studied a lot yet. Ace, Queen, 4, that looks to me like the type of board that we can use larger sizings. This is an interesting hand to use some larger sizings because, you know, it's 7 high, so anything they fold is pretty much a win. And I can hit a 5, I can hit a spade, so there's a lot of really nice barreling cards on the turn. Now, it's possible that we're just only supposed to use small sizings and we're supposed to check a ton. However, I'm going to go big and we'll see what happens. And it likes it, right? It's like, yeah, definitely bet this hand. There's a great hand to bet with a double backdoor. They fold a queen for this sizing. So that's kind of the power of that. Whereas if they have a hand like ace 5 or ace 9 maybe, they're probably going to call, and then I am going to have a lot of fantastic barrel cards. And if they get stubborn and they want to call down, I can run a runner the nuts, or, you know, a nut straight, or a low flush. But a low flush is a good flush when you're heads up small blind versus big blind. It's very different than like a massively multi-way pot. All right, we've played 26 hands, 27 correct actions, 1 error so far. I'm liking it. I think maybe heads up play would be more interesting. Let me know if you like this format and if you'd like to see something similar but a little different in the future. This is a fold. 9-6 suited, I believe, is the bottom of our 9x range. 3-6 off, clear fold, right? It's just like a lot of junk, and Yeah, I could not talk while I was loading the next hand and then like meticulously edit out all of this load time. But yeah, if I had like 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, then I would pay someone to do that for me. But as it is, I'm gonna make the best videos I can make without using a disproportionate amount of effort to how much value I think you'll be getting out of it. There are videos that I will make that will be, I remember my first coaching video that I got paid for. It was the first one for Drag the Bar. I spent about 10 hours making like a 1-hour video. But it was a really good video, and I should probably remake it. It was basically like how to learn poker. And in fact, I will remake it by like doing it differently than I did then. Yeah, so pretty boring session so far, right? Lots of folding. This is poker, Esto es poker. That's a show and you can watch it on YouTube. Poker in Spanish. We're gonna fold. I think it's like a 6 max sit and go, and they have 6 of them, and then the winner of each plays, they all play each other. All right, so yeah, just testing out this format because I'm not going to put this entire stream on YouTube. The VOD will be available on Twitch for a couple weeks, and then maybe eventually, I will keep the footage, and if there's like an outcry, I'll have it available somewhere. So, yeah. But I do feel like this is actually a really good way to warm up, right? Even though we don't have a ton of interesting spots, and there are ways that we can, get more interesting spots, probably either play heads up or pick individual situations like from the flop on. I do think that this is a great just warm up for like, okay, I'm going to play some poker. I'm just going to fold and try and play my hands best. Now, this week can mix in some raises, and if I was really feeling like challenging myself, I would go ahead and raise it. It's like 1%. Look at that. 0.63%. It might even mark it as an error, but it would be nice if it lets us see a flop with it. But yeah, it's just, you get in the mode of this is almost pure. You actually can fold this a little bit, but yeah, getting in the mode of just trying to make good decisions, not playing for the money, right? It doesn't matter. I don't even know how much I won or lost in this session, right? It's irrelevant. The point is I lost 0.05 big blinds in EV. That's how much I've deviated from perfect GTO play given, the restrictions of this sim. All right, so we're going to play like 4 more hands. And so far, so good. This is a hand that I actually think this sim allows you to fold on the button. And I could do that just trying to like get a better score, but I'm not going to do that. I want to try and find another flop for you, but we don't. We have seen very, 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 very few flops. So almost to the point where like I might not even make this a video I put out. It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know. 2 more. All right, 10-8 offsuit. I would have open raised from the small blind, although it is at the bottom of the range, and so for they might do 3.5x. You could probably fold it as probably like a mix. All right, let's open raise queen 9 off on the button. Hopefully get a flop. No, okay, we're gonna fold that, and that's that. That's 50 hands, 51 correct actions, 1 slightly wrong action, and yeah, I guess I feel decent about this session, man against machine. Let me know what you think of the format. If you would rather only see hands with flops, in that case we would have to pick a specific situation, and I will definitely make some videos like that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. It's super helpful, helps the channel out. When I get to 1,000 subscribers, I will be putting a lot more time and effort into making YouTube videos and trying to make them as good as I can. I mean, right now I put effort into it, but it's easier to justify that effort when YouTube actually gives me some of the ad revenue that they're making from the videos. All right, have a great day. Peace.